is a ghost box, also known as a spirit box.
And are you trying to tell us that we can actually communicate with spirits with that?
Yes.
So where is it you have picked for tonight to go?
We're going to be going over to Romulus Cemetery.
And why Romulus Cemetery? Why that one, I mean?
Well, Romulus Cemetery is a location that's been around since the 1800s. Over the years, there's been a lot of reports of paranormal activity, including right down to demonic type activity. So, as soon as we mentioned it, it stopped playing music. That was classical. Yeah.
You like classical music?
Hold up.
Also, she said on that frequency, classical music started playing.
Yeah, we heard.
Classical music is my genre. That's me. That's my music.
Mm-hmm.
So. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Dimensions. I'm probably as excited to bring you this show as what you have been looking forward to it. I'm not going to get into a big long spiel about the history of it. I do feel like I need to touch on that for those who are not familiar. Dimensions got its start on the live stream app that I was contracted to. I had multiple guests on it. It was strictly paranormal. Dimensions was strictly a paranormal show. I had everything on it as a guest, from an alien from an alternate universe to a ghost whisperer who brought messages to loved ones in my live while I was live on the air. And she was able to carry messages from loved ones who were in my live lurking. They also, the ones receiving the messages, verified that there was something clairvoyant going on. So I was glad for that show because it helped loved ones to connect from beyond. I've had everything on from a pagan witch who cast a money spell for us live on the show. And I am here to vouch that it worked. The spell she cast did work. So there's many different things, many different guests that we've had on the show. The sad thing was they were all live. So I had no record of those shows. And I wished I did. The new dimensions we're bringing here, however, is not just going to be paranormal. We're not always going to have guests. It's going to cover all branches of science, from quantum physics to time travel to hauntings to UFOs to cryptozoology. It's going to cover all of it, guys. And I want you also to know that opinions and views of my guests are solely theirs. Doesn't reflect my thoughts. Also, anything I bring you, just know that I'm bringing it to you unbiased. It's not, just because I bring it to you don't mean I necessarily believe what's going on, but I will be honest about what I see and hear when we are doing shows. Just know that just because I bring something to you enthusiastically, it doesn't mean I'm buying 100% what's going on. All that matters is that my guests believe 100% of what they are saying. My job with this show is to bring you facts for you to disseminate and make your own judgment on. And if you don't like the subject matter, watch the show anyway, guys. Consider it entertainment. We really want you to stay through every show. Comment something you would like to see, or if you would like to debunk something that you saw in the show, feel free to comment that. We want this show to be fun for you. so glad to bring it to you. It is a brand new show to this format. So at least what I do like about it is it will all be archived. One other thing before we get into tonight's show I would like to mention is you are going to notice a frequent guest on this show just like before. His name, he goes by the Mad Scientist. Now the reason why he is frequently on the show, guys, is because he is an information junkie. He is a research guru. He's a knowledge nerd. Like, he is always researching. Always. He spends hours researching particular subjects. So he's well versed in a lot of subjects because he has spent time looking into things. So in order to tap that knowledge, we will have him on, off and on this show. In fact, one of my shows coming up was a show I did with him on a different show. It was a different talk show. It wasn't Dimensions. Back in 2014. That's when we filmed it. That will be in an upcoming episode because it is Dimensions worthy. So that ought to wrap it up. Let's go ahead and get on with tonight's show. Tonight's show is ghost hunting. We are going to go with some ghost hunters. We all met up at Wild Lilith's house. We're going to go over some of the devices that they're going to be using. And tonight we are going to go on a ghost hunt in a cemetery that is supposed to be haunted with demonic influences. So let's see what happens. This is fitting for Halloween, guys. So sit back and enjoy the show. Okay, we're with ghost hunter Wild Lilith, who's going to tell us about her device. What is this device you have?
This is a ghost box, also known as a spirit box.
And what exactly does a spirit box do?
It's kind of like an EVP, but instead of you have to go on phone or the computer to hear it, you could actually hear it out loud.
Okay, so are you trying to tell us that we can actually communicate with spirits with that?
Yes.
So how do we know that things aren't pre-recorded and loaded into the device and they sell it to you?
Because it's actually work like a radio station itself. It uses the radio frequencies. Like if you don't have channels, you hear nothing but static.
Right. And the spirits communicate through this thing?
Yes.
And are you able to actually hold conversations? Are you actually able to ask questions?
You could ask questions. It really depends on the spirit. You have like the very intelligent that will communicate, and some of them won't. So it really depends on the spirit itself.
Okay, have you ever thought that maybe there were spirits here in your home?
Yes.
You have. Have you ever tried your spirit device in your home?
At this moment in time, not yet, due to me being a mother. I don't want to scare the kids. So I really didn't have time to be kids free.
Right. So can you kind of show us what this thing is like? What it does?
Got the power button. Kind of turning it on. Of course, turn it up. That is, I don't know if you can hear it, is what it sounds like. To cut the sound off.
Okay, so that's not a mic. I thought that was a mic. Is that a mic? Or is it just a...
You talk through this, then do that. And this is what you'll hear, then the voice of a spirit watch to go through this.
Okay, so is it possible to... How about if we try this and see if any spirits answer, because you're kid-free at the moment. So why don't we try it and see if maybe... We are going, guys, we are going later to some actual haunted places that are known to be haunted. So we're hoping to pick up activity there for sure. But why don't we try and experiment and see if maybe we can catch something here while it's kind of quiet?
Yeah. Do you want to ask any questions?
Just ask if any spirits want to talk, if anyone's here, basically.
Are there anybody here that would like to communicate?
So now, is it recording this, where you'll have a record of it later?
No, we will not.
You will not have a record later?
No.
So you can only hear it live?
Yes.
Oh, I figured it would like have SD cards or something.
No, it does not. But this is why we'll also have video cameras and other equipment.
Okay. So literally, guys, this is a live device to communicate live with spirits is what it is.
Yes, it's kind of like a Ouija board in a way.
Okay.
But it's verbal.
Right.
That's what it reminds me of.
Well, Lilith, how long have you been ghost hunting?
First time I ever been ghost hunting, I was at the age of about 13. First experience with a spirit, I was at the age of 5.
And what did you see at 5?
We was living in an old trailer house at my parents' place, and a spirit went through mine and my sister's bedroom with blood.
Ooh.
You know, the chest pointed at me and my sister and went like this.
Oh. Did you ever find out who it was, or?
No.
Yeah. So now we do have some other ghost hunters coming that have other equipment. So a compilation of all of the equipment tonight. Do you expect we'll get some activity tonight?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. One of the person that's coming, that's my brother. He does a lot of history, research, other places, and he picked out a couple of really good places.
So we are going to where it's definitely haunted, and we're hoping that we will pick up activity. Is there anything that someone needs to look for to go to haunted places that would generate activity? Like, for instance, is weather a factor? Does it have to be cloudy, stormy? Like, what attracts spirits to be active?
With my own personal experience, time.
Time?
It seems like between like midnight and 3 is more of the active. That's my own personal experience on that.
Okay. They will be here later. We will go out ghost hunting, and hopefully we will be able to pick up activity. So that's it for now. We will join when the others get here and look at all the equipment we're going to be using tonight, and then we're going to go to different places to see what we can find. Okay, so we're here with Travis, and he is one of the ghost hunters joining us tonight. He's going to show us some of the equipment he'll be using tonight. You'll see he's all decked out in his ghost hunting outfit. So tell us about the device you'll be using tonight.
The external infrared light.
Infrared is, are we able to see ghosts with it?
Would
Spirits.
you be able to?
Or do you just see
at wavelengths that we physically can't see without any help from a camera?
Okay, so we'll be able to see in the spectrum that's invisible to the human eye.
We should be able to.
And that's where spirits reside, right?
Yeah.
So do you think we'll see spirits tonight, or anomalies at least?
I'm hoping we do.
Infrared technology, if you see an anomaly, is that most likely a spirit?
It's possible.
Okay. What's your latest experience you had with a device like that? Have you seen spirits through that?
I haven't had it long enough to...
Okay, so this is a relatively new device for you.
It'll be the first time I've used the external.
Oh, so we're gonna break it in tonight, guys. So hopefully we'll get to see something at least with Wild Lilith's spirit box. Do you think if we do capture EVPs that with your device we can see what we're talking to?
Yeah, my past with videoing these repeats, I have caught stuff with just the camera's built-in infrared light, so the external one makes it a lot brighter.
So it's a lot more powerful.
Yeah.
Sweet. So hopefully we will be able to capture something tonight, guys. What else do you have? You have walkie-talkies, you have...
Just set of 4 of these walkie-talkies, so if we do split off, we can still communicate with each other.
Okay, so that's to communicate with live people.
I have had one time where we were at one place and the walkie-talkies that I gave another group that they had was going off, and I was the only other one with a walkie-talkie, and we weren't talking over it.
So it was...
They can possibly pick up stuff too.
Yeah, I heard that ghosts can operate through electronics. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
And that sounds like that's what you experienced in that instance.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to learn about where we're going and the history of it. Now, Matt is joining us. So Matt is also a fellow ghost hunter, and he is really big into research, guys. So he looks into the history of places and knows the hot spots to go to. So he's the researcher of the group. So where is it you have picked for tonight to go?
We're going to be going over to Romulus Cemetery.
And why Romulus Cemetery? Why that one? I mean.
Well, Romulus Cemetery is a location that's been around since the 1800s. Over the years, there's been a lot of reports of paranormal activity, including right down to demonic type activity. So I just do research on the places like that. And if they sound a little too good to be true, those are usually the places I pick.
Have you had activity at Romulus before?
Last time I was there, not really.
Okay. So you said there was demonic activity believed to reside there?
According to some groups out there, yes.
Okay, but you're not sure, really.
I'm there to either confirm or debunk it.
That's our goal tonight, right?
Exactly.
So what happens if we encounter a demonic spirit? Because we're out to contact spirits, of course, but demonic, is that why Travis is all outfitted with his...
Oh, no. He's outfitted like that because he wants to be a fat Rambo.
Oh, okay. So hopefully, like, demonic spirits are like notoriously evil. So what happens, have you ever encountered an evil demonic spirit?
Yes.
In your ghost hunting? And how did you stave them off, or how did you deal with that?
There's various methods for it. The one that I did encounter, we ended up having to do an exorcism to the location itself because I'm trained as a demonologist as well.
Oh, sweet.
So I do more than just the research aspect. I go over the audio files after. I go over video files. I'm the behind the scenes guy that puts all the evidence together, and then we conclude whether or not the evidence is legit or if it's just, mind tricks. But when it comes to an entity like that, there's a variety of different methods for removing them in the rare events that we do come across them.
Now, I've heard about sage. Does that work?
It has shown to work with me. I think it really just boils down to belief systems.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've seen it work. Rather it works permanently, it really depends. I don't think it really works on a permanent level.
Right.
But it does seem to stop the activity for the moment long enough for you to come up with a plan for getting rid of it.
So what's the most active place you have visited that you have found activity?
St. Vincent's home.
St. Vincent's. And where is that at?
That is in Midwest City.
Midwest City. What's the history of St. Vincent's home?
St. Vincent's home originally was constructed as a retirement home for Catholic priests.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 60s, they converted it into an insane asylum.
Oh, my.
There are confirmed reports of a doctor that had killed some patients. The number of patients that were killed is unconfirmed, though.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it just kind of shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been shut down ever since. The monastery part of it, though, was recently torn down. So the only part that's left is where the insane asylum was. The problem is now is that the building is so dilapidated it's impossible to safely go into it.
Yeah, I did hear that you had also visited the Federal Murray building bombing site. Guys, in 1995 it was bombed.
Yeah.
Many people died during that. It stands as a memorial now that you can go visit. It's open to the public. You're free to go there. And so I did hear that you visited that as well.
Yeah, we did go there. After looking over all the evidence that we collected there, we decided to basically lock and key it. It never got released.
Okay, so you did hear activity, see activity. You did come across activity there.
Yeah. It boiled down to a lot of people that were not even aware that they were dead. They just knew, they were aware of the last seconds.
Oh.
So they were reliving that.
Over and over.
And with everything that we got, we just most.
Out of respect, you just kept the information for yourself.
Yeah, because I mean, there's still families out there and stuff like that. We went there because I wanted to hopefully get a story from the people that were there, and they got their chance to talk, and we decided that as much as it would be nice to tell that story, it was just too emotional to do that.
Right. It's still kind of new to everybody. I mean, 1995, something that tragic is not really that far away, you know. It's still, especially to Oklahomans, it's still too new for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what we're doing. We're going to Romulus Cemetery, and now we're going to go ahead. Thank you guys for the interviews. We're going to go ahead and go ghost hunting, guys. So we will see you there. Guys, it's really hard to see, but we are at the cemetery now. This is the EVP spirit box right here.
Let's go over here, because this is where the sound is coming from. So let's see if there's maybe somebody in here. About here.
I'm going to set that here. Try talking to some too. Try talking to. It's really hard to do this at night when it's so dark.
That would be a negative. I'm heading to you, so if you want to talk to it.
Maybe you can try it over here. My camera's acting all kinds of weird over here.
Let's go see his camera.
The camera's acting like it's trying to focus on something that's started over here. I just can't figure out.
What's it going to look like on your camera?
What?
This is currently what looks like. Every once in a while, it's acting like it's trying to focus on something, and I'm not entirely certain what's. If it's just it trying to adjust because there's no light beyond the light that it has, or something else. But
You want to ask anything?
Yeah, keep it on. There's no telling when something will come through. Let's see what the infrared looks like. What's the infrared look like?
It isn't like so you stick with me. Battery's getting low.
That ain't good.
External battery pack.
Hey Travis, if you have a bright enough camera, why don't we try looking up in these trees? Or bright enough flashlight. Let's try looking up in these trees to see if maybe there's an animal up there. Because
They heard a noise earlier, guys.
I really want to rule out that possibility. I mean, like I said, it didn't sound like any owl I've ever heard, but...
It sounds like somebody hooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring the spirit box. Stick with us.
I haven't seen anything fly from the tree. SLS camera is recording.
Yeah, so is the infrared camera.
Right now, dude, I'm not going to use the other camera here.
Okay.
I think for right now, I'm going to stick with the SLS because I want to see how it does here. Everybody's being ahead of me. I'm just going to... noise coming from the right.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I want to head over in that direction. Sounds like something is moving over here.
You want the headlight?
still needs calibrated. Okay. There it goes.
Sounds like an owl.
That sounds like screaming.
Hey Travis, we're gonna group up.
Okay. You want me to go grab little Betsy? And then I go.
Just please tell me we're not the only ones that heard that.
That.
Okay, so we weren't the only ones that heard that.
Come from that direction.
Yep.
Yeah. That was no owl there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rule out that it's not an owl.
You want to hold my
It's just-
camera for a second?
If it is an owl, it sounded really weird.
I should really find me some
Your camera's almost dead, dude.
backup battery.
I mean, like I said, it didn't sound like any owl I've ever heard, but...
No, it sounded like somebody hooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring the spirit box. Stick with us.
I haven't seen anything fly from the trees either. So, that's why I'm thinking whatever's up there, if something's up there, would still be up there, but it being up there wouldn't match the audio I heard, because the audio I heard was from the ground.
Okay, I don't know if y'all can hear, but the spirit box is going in the background. But
So, well, once you get your camera there,
you got the infrared going, guys.
I haven't seen anything fly from that tree.
There ain't nothing in that tree but leaves and branches. And possibly pecans. But nothing that'll make that sound.
Well, like I said, even when I heard it, it did not sound like an owl.
Yeah, I know. It sounded like somebody going, whoo.
So there was a sound when we first got here, guys, that was heard. The cameras weren't rolling, unfortunately.
Let's adjust the sound.
What?
The sound that we heard earlier. Are you guys willing? You guys think there still might be a scientific explanation, or do we want to go ahead and roll that? I'm not completely convinced that it's not a person.
Yeah.
The problem is how close that sound was to us. Where is the person? But we can't see in the woods because there's a fence line. There's an actual fence going along these trees here. So that's going to make it a little bit difficult for trying to...
Now keep the spirit box on, just turn it down a little bit.
You can't turn it down.
There's got to be volume on it if it's bothering you, but it needs to stay on because
I know it is one.
we'll miss. See, just turn it down if it bothers you, but we'll miss anything if we don't keep it on.
No, never mind. Figure that was
Ask it what's for dinner. Say trick or treat. This is Halloween, you know. See if you can get some ghost activity.
Anybody in my Beagle who wants to ask any questions, comment below. Critic mine.
You see, I know the SLS camera is working because it is showing him.
Right.
So
And what's an SLS now?
SLS can detect objects, people specifically. It's used commonly with like Xbox and stuff like that. That use,
Like to connect.
Yeah, the Xbox Connect uses this type of system, but it's also been known to pick up people that we can't actually see.
Sweet.
So that's why I'm walking around with it. It's been recording since we've gotten here, and it hasn't picked up anything. So other than a strange sound that I'm not completely convinced wasn't a person hiding in the woods, which would be kind of disturbing in its own right. There's really nothing that's happened so far. But like I said,
well, other than the
when you
audio
show up
disturbance that was on my mic.
yeah, well, yeah, and the audio distortion that happened on his, but that could have just been distortion from radio frequencies.
Start talking. Ask a question.
Yes.
I don't know what to ask. I'm not a ghost hunter. You are.
Matt, anything?
Yeah, let's see this. Is there anybody here that would like to talk? How do we get to flip through the frequencies? Because it's staying at 87.8. Maybe if we flip it through frequencies, it'll...
Normally what they do is they track the typical frequencies.
Okay, so it won't auto flip?
It should.
No sweep rate.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do 300 milliseconds. Maybe... Go ahead and just... Yeah, we'll just... Is there anybody here that would like to talk? Is there anybody here that would like to be on the SLS camera?
What's the chance of dirt being two specks following each other at the same speed in the same direction?
Well, the temperature, there's no bugs flying around. So, because
Cut across right from here to here on my screen.
You just caught something on your IR.
Yeah.
What'd you catch?
Oh, I would say is either dust or orbs.
Orbs.
But there are two of them following the same exact path at the same speed, keeping the same distance between each other. So I'd rule dust out on that because dust just drifts.
So are orb spirits? Do you think you captured a spirit? There are two spirits, maybe?
Possibly.
Sweet. Now if we can just get them to talk to us.
Or get a full apparition. That's what I want. Full apparition would be the goal.
This is our chance to talk. Some of you have been here for a few years. You don't have anything you'd want to say to people you cared about? Got an airplane.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
No, that's a truck.
Is it a truck? Oh, I'll be damned. Never mind, we got ourselves a truck. That sounds like an airplane.
Okay, so it's a ghetto pickup.
Okay, get it. It's something with wheels that sounded like an airplane.
Yeah. Jesus. Okay. Bright light up and then shoots right back down.
More activity, huh?
And I know it's not grass because I'm kicking the grass right now.
Recording this stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's getting recorded.
Hey, you get somewhere I can put this?
But what?
Yes, because it's not wanting to record right. It's malfunctioning for some reason.
Mine's been doing that. Mine's been shutting off.
It keeps asking me to format the SD card.
Mine asked me that once and it keeps shutting off repeatedly. It's shut off like twice so far.
So we got activity on the IR, guys.
Maybe if we split up.
Yeah.
It might be because we're in a group. Because the activities I've always heard about were individual people. I haven't heard anything about groups. So I'm gonna go off this way.
Okay, and I'm
still trying to debunk this fucking voice. I am gung ho about debunking that noise.
Well, your camera's now in my holster.
Are you here, Johnny? I see your wife is still alive. That's the tip of the SLS camera. Maybe you'll be able to get the footage back to her. chance to see you again. Never a chance to know that you're okay.
Hey, Matt.
Go ahead.
Just before you walked away, I was aiming kind of towards that evergreens in front of you. And when you said that last statement, a little light shot from the right to the left of my screen. You're standing to my left.
We'll have to have a look at it when we get back. When you come to Mom's house, go ahead, we can download the stuff on your computer.
I could just put it on my computer and send it to you.
Won't be able to do it on Facebook Messenger.
I know that, but I can email you the video or something like that.
Hey guys. Okay, never mind. This is some. Okay. This is very scary equipment. Never mind.
Anything on spirit box?
I swear, of all the cemeteries I've been to, this one's a paradox.
I know, and I keep seeing these little flashes of lights fly across my screen.
But yet, looking at it from a scientific level, there ain't nothing. There's no logical explanation of why I feel that way.
Does it say brain scan has not heard back?
I heard something like that.
Sounds like it's flipping through now.
Yeah, it is.
How'd you do it? I did it. Your itsy bitsy radio channels.
I'll turn it off, turn it back on.
Hey Travis, is Jackie standing outside? Yeah.
Hey, are you standing outside?
Is she standing next to the car?
Hello? Jackie?
She's not.
She's not.
What the fuck is standing next to the car? What is the silhouette there? Is that a tombstone? I can't figure out what the voice is. I'm gonna go see what this big silhouette is.
Yeah, it looks like it's a tombstone. It's just one of those tall ones up towards the front.
Okay.
Because when I stand over here...
See, I came in further this way, so I never...
Yeah, we came in further over to the south. Yeah, because when I stepped over there...
I see this tombstone. That's not what I was seeing. What I was seeing would have been about where your front tire is. That's why I was asking if she was standing outside the car.
No.
Anybody here?
God.
Okay, so we got little bugs that are flying around.
Okay, that's probably what I'm picking up then.
So...
Because they're flying all sorts... Except the two that were following each other at the same speed in the exact same direction.
We'll have to look at it. I'll have to highlight the video and stuff.
Yeah, I have to increase the light.
What it is from what I've just seen, there's little gnats that are flying around.
Which is kind of weird. Because you wouldn't think they'll be out like
Might
this.
have company. Those lights that just shone on those trees there. The Popo patrol out here quite often.
Well, you got a bunch of people standing here with camera equipment. It'd be pretty obvious.
No, see, what I was seeing would have been about where your front tire is. That's why I was kind of wondering if it was Jackie. But when we get closer, it's not there.
Because there's that headstone.
Yeah, that's not what I was seeing.
And I can't reach her on this. She won't reply. They got a 5-mile range.
Oh.
This is a regular CB.
Yeah.
So
She's just not
Purple flame.
she doesn't got a walkie-talkie. I've got all four are with us. Matt has one, you have one, I have one. Well, actually, I have two.
Alright, so I guess we're back to the voice, or that. Well, it sounded like some redneck hollering in the woods.
Oh, he's just hollering.
I'm going to say inconclusive because we can't prove one way or the other what it was.
Yeah.
It sounded like a person.
Was you rolling when that happened?
Yes.
Okay, so you got video.
Oh yeah, SLS was rolling.
Okay. I wasn't rolling, so we'll incorporate that later.
Where we were standing though, it sounded really close. It's the flame.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
What was what?
I was looking that way and my camera like flashed real bright.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
That was kind of okay. See, this is what happens when I don't look at the SLS camera.
Oh, at the time I never look at my camera. I just wait and be surprised in the
Alright,
end.
so we've already split up in the back half of the cemetery and got nothing.
I think I did get a couple of orbs, and that's about it.
Spirit box.
And then once we get to the front, we'll do like the review. But I think let's go ahead and split up in the front half of the cemetery. Who wants to go where?
I don't care.
I'll take the left. Or are you taking left?
I'll head this way.
You got a little road right here.
Yeah.
Because if you're going left, I'll just go straight. Or go right. Still a negative on the SLS.
Yeah, I ain't picking up anything on infrared.
Yeah, the infrared is inclusive. We'll have to review some of the stuff that you caught.
Well, it could be like that St. Vincent's where we didn't see it at first until we went to review.
Okay, that's your 15 up to the right.
Oh yeah, this thing picks up that stops.
2016. Darla Robbins. Are you still here? Would you like to show yourself on this camera?
No EVPs, nobody wants to talk?
Walkie-talkie. There's a box with a light you could come to if you want to communicate. You could leave your loved ones messages.
Facebook Messenger, limited on what you can do. Never been.
Like fucking flipping.
Yeah, but it picks up regular stations. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, but it's changing.
Now maybe we might get something.
swear, of all the cemeteries I've been to, this one's a paradox. Oh, and I keep hearing these little rips.
Hey, the ghost pocket is freaking the fuck out.
Yes. Looking at it from a scientific level, there's nothing. There's no logical explanation why I feel that way.
It's so like fucking flipping.
What?
It's so fucking fluffy. The fuck out.
Does it say Brainspan has not heard back?
I heard something like that.
Sounds like it's flipping through now.
Yeah, it is.
How'd you do it?
I did it.
Your itsy bitsy radio channels.
I'll turn it off, turn it back on.
Let your family
Hey,
know.
there's something over here trying to go through.
On the way.
Copy, on my way.
This may turn out to be an interesting night after all, so just walking around the cemetery.
What time is it, Nolan?
It just started going off.
Yeah, the SLS, it's picking you up, it's picking him up.
Nothing on the IR, huh?
Not yet.
There's somebody here that wants to talk. You want to show yourself on camera? Travis, come look at how fuzzy this camera's gotten all of a sudden.
Heard mine.
This camera has been crystal clear this entire time, and all of a sudden it's like blurry.
It's gotten interference of some sort.
Yeah.
Look at these black speckles that are
Does
showing
that
up.
typically happen when something tries to come through?
Energy is essentially what spirits are. All they are is pure energy. Problem is they take energy from everything around it. So this very well could be an interference that's happening, but you want to show yourself on the SLS? On this
look, it cleared
device
up
that I'm
again.
holding.
It got clear again. Oh no, now it's back to fuzzy. You see it cleared up for a second?
Hey Travis, can you go to the other side of that tombstone and see if there's something white in there?
Which tombstone?
The one right here in front of me.
Yeah, there's a mound, because
Is there? Okay, I just wanted to know what
19,
See, even
20,
the tombstone is
that
so-
grave's only 2 years old. From 19. Why is there a mound like that on a 2-year-old grave?
Let's go check this out. Maybe that's why
That should have been leveled down.
If it's a child, that might. No, it's not a child.
No, not from 45 to 19.
James Kelly, is that you doing this? Are you the one messing with the camera here? Are you messing with her device as well? Do you mind standing over here in front of this device to let us know you're here? We are definitely going to have to review your camera.
Yeah. Jolene, I'll probably put it on over there. On the actual
See,
grave itself.
Here's the
The
thing.
headstone's about a
Come
couple
watch
of
this
feet
camera.
above the grave.
Alright. I'm aiming it over in this direction. It's
Yeah, I'm
perfectly
picking up
clear.
that light over the tower.
Yeah,
Perfectly
it's
clear.
perfectly clear. Watch what happens when I come to this direction. Here. See how that black
Yeah, it gets fuzzy.
It starts to get more
towards
and more
this
pixelated
direction.
And, well, the blackness.
I want to get that on
that
there live.
Black,
Matt,
whatever
so
that
my viewers
is,
know what we're
that's
talking
popping
about.
in, becomes more frequent.
Alright.
You see, it's even turning red where the black interference is coming in, where it's kind of, I don't know how to explain what that is. Almost like smoke, I guess, like black smoke. But so there's an interference somewhere. I don't know if it would be the tower.
No.
It might. Well, no, the towers would be too far. Are there power lines?
No.
There's no power lines.
Over maybe.
Right there, but
Right
that's
there.
the closest one.
We're too far from them for them to be much of an interference.
Yeah.
So there's no EMF coming from the power lines because the
And
power
that
lines
we
are
didn't
gonna
pick
have
up
an EMF going
anything.
around them.
That none of that happened at the back. It only happened up here.
I had it happen in one spot back there where it was doing the same thing with that weird black pixelated looking.
Oh, there it goes again. Anything?
James, are you here?
Hello?
Not getting anything on SLS at all. I got an idea. I'm going to shut down the SLS. We're going to switch over to another program.
No, we're not stopped.
What's that one?
Different program.
And if it was a power line, that's why it wouldn't go on and off like this.
No, if it was power line interference, it'd stay on constant.
Right.
Yeah.
Feels like it's trying to focus on something. Is that on one channel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I've
so
been
you-
on this channel.
Okay, so it's
Good.
doing that on one channel.
And I've been on this channel for the whole thing.
Now this device here does measure frequency. It
Sound.
means if for some reason if there is an entity and it's talking, but for whatever reason your thing isn't picking it up, it'll spike on this. As you can tell, it's spiking from my voice. So let's be quiet for a few minutes. Let's see if it has any abnormal spikes.
Camera.
I forgot about that.
What?
This thing is also a spirit box. This is the audio recording. Yeah, I'm holding a camera.
So am I.
Would you like to stand in front of it? Show yourself? Can you show us that you're here? Is your name Steven? Hey, Can you turn that big bright light on your head on? There's a reason I'm asking. I keep seeing something fly in front of this. Is that you doing that?
Alright.
Alright.
I know I saw a moth just now fly by.
Are you the one doing that?
That's playing music.
It wasn't playing music just a minute ago.
It was when I said it's playing music. It was very tone, but you can hear
And
it.
it quit. As soon as you mention it.
Yeah, as soon as we mentioned it, it stopped playing music. That was classical.
Yeah. Do you like classical music?
Hold up, let's listen to this. It's not playing it. You want to stand in front of my camera? Yeah. Really?
I give you a CD. Oh,
I don't think we're going to do anything more.
okay.
Hold up.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'll give you a walkie-talkie. What do you want?
I got close.
What did you want other than where you at?
It does that right after the music. Maybe
My what keeps going off?
Maybe that's what it is.
Hey, what's the chances of them being able to fuck with your car? It says lights in the car keep going off. In my car.
Possible. One of the other claims I've heard is the activity is not restricted inside the cemetery.
Probably. There's a gate. And it opens.
Classical music is my music. So was it trying to contact me? That is not, I listen to classical all the time, guys. That frequency right there is not a malleable station.
I got some additional information about this cemetery that I didn't tell you guys earlier.
All right, let's go up front. Tell them we're on the way. We got some additional information, guys. I'm gonna have to review the footage and see which piece was playing.
We got camera too on. Went through, said camera.
Huh.
But not enough to get me excited.
As soon as Jolene gets over here, I'll give you guys the info I didn't give you guys earlier. Because most people shy away from that kind of info.
People were killed here.
No.
Very much you can tell me that won't surprise me.
So there's another legend, well, we're going to say a legend about the cemetery. Now, allegedly, this cemetery is built where an old Indian cemetery once was. They exhumed the bodies of the Native Americans to put this cemetery in its place. Now the other legend is that allegedly the woods at the back of this cemetery are where the Native American cemetery once was and possibly still is. Two different legends to it.
So you think the noise from the woods earlier could have been
It's possible.
Native American spirits?
I don't know. I'm very on the fence about it.
Wouldn't they, Native Americans, didn't they mimic animals as sort of like a secret call to each other or something? Isn't that true that at times they would mimic animals to each other?
And they would also, it was a good way of getting rid of people they didn't want around.
Well, maybe they didn't want us around.
It's possible. Like I said, there's that part of me, it sounded very human, but at the same time, I got that other part of me, it's like, okay, so it's probably a person, it's nothing paranormal. But then the other half of me is like, why the hell would somebody just randomly be standing in the woods? They wouldn't know we would be here tonight.
No.
So I'm really on the fence about it. I want to go over the audio and stuff.
Yeah, we're going to have to hear the audio again to see. But
because I really want to...
Also, she said on that frequency, classical music started playing.
Yeah, we heard...
Classical music is my genre. That's me. That's my music. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if somebody was trying to communicate. Would they actually try to communicate with specific people? If there's a group of people, would they single someone out?
It's possible, yeah.
Is it possible that there's spirits residing here that isn't in here? So, for instance, might it be one of my long lost relatives trying to reach out? Or do you think it's...
Well, I mean, I would imagine spirits would have the same free will that we have. So, I mean, it is possible that if you have somebody in your family that's just, for whatever reason, decided to spend eternity just kind of tagging along with you, yeah, it is possible.
And of course, it's also possible, what was his name, Mr. Kelly? It's also possible that was his genre of music and he was just reaching out.
It is. Because I noticed when I specifically mentioned it was classical music and it stopped. It just abruptly had stopped.
You acknowledged it and then it stopped.
But a few minutes later, her thing went, or not even a few minutes, it was like almost immediately after I said that, I guess. That's when it started doing that weird spike thing, that noise that it's been doing. And then that stopped. It went back to the classical music until I tried to get my head closer to listen to it so it was more clear. And then it just stopped again.
Then we got...
So, in conclusion, do you guys think we experienced paranormal activity tonight?
with the camera, when they said camera.
I do have that one recorded too.
Listen, I listen to classical music. That's my genre, and I can tell you that frequency does not play. That's not a radio station that plays it. So that is a blank channel. And the radio station it does play on would not bleed over to that frequency.
Yeah.
So...
Right, the classical frequencies are down in the 80s.
Yeah, it's 90.1 around here. 90.1 FM.
Yeah.
So... it definitely would not be close enough to bleed over. So I think the classical music was definitely paranormal.
Yeah.
The noise we heard in the woods could have been. We'll review the footage, guys. We'll put that up as well.
Yeah, the classical music thing. I mean, there's
no
way we can debunk it because it doesn't make any sense. But
it doesn't make no logical sense. He also saw anomalies on his SLC camera. SLC?
I never caught, but I never caught like any of the stick figures that it's supposed to do. I just kept catching like this weird
anomalies, and you saw orbs too, right? What you believe was orbs.
Possible.
Okay, we'll have to review footage.
Those there, but that was also when I started seeing the little gnats flying around.
So it's possible it could have been explained.
So yeah,
but we'll still show that footage and let you guys decide. That's the thing. But I think we definitely experienced something extraordinary tonight. It might not have been crystal clear what we wanted, but I think we were trying to be communicated with.
Some of the things didn't add up.
Yeah.
What got me was the classical music.
Yeah, the only thing that gets me on the voice is we never saw anybody. they were way too close to us to be in the woods, so they would have had to have been in the bushes.
And there was this weird
But
clearing.
there was nobody there because I walked around back there.
But is it possible their voice just carried? Like they could be in the woods and they, spirits, they're disembodied, so they could throw voices, right? I think, right?
It is
No?
possible in that regard. If it was an entity, because it sounded, like I said, it sounded pretty close. But I went back to the very back where the tree line was. And I didn't see, because I'm thinking if there's, for whatever reason, somebody hiding in there, they would have to be hiding in that front row of weeds because there's a fence back there.
Especially how loud
The
it
only
was.
weird spot in the weeds I saw, there was this blue thing laying on the ground, and it was all weeds except this U-shaped cutout where it was just short and like a blue, looked like a old picnic table top that was blue, kind of partially.
Coyote.
No, that's coyotes.
Hold on.
But coyotes are.
That's the noise. That's the noise we heard.
Coyotes.
So good, we can finally debunk it. It's just we didn't hear.
Yeah,
a crowd
but
of them
but
right
the Native Americans had those as pets, right?
Not that I'm aware of, but I don't.
Domesticated dogs are
Wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves.
over millions of years.
But I'm.
Let's review the footage and see if we can find that noise again and see if that's exactly what it was.
But as it is right now, I'm saying it's.
Because that was a pack that we heard. You said you heard a lone voice.
Yeah.
So more than likely, guys, we caught
That's the other part too.
a coyote.
You hear one coyote, you're going to hear the other ones respond.
Yeah, and we didn't.
But
So we're still going to review the footage. The jury's not out yet. So we will be uploading footage too, guys.
I'll go ahead and stop the SLS.
It's got us what's from the NPK. You see everything, yes. Is it down at the bottom?
All right, guys, we hope you have enjoyed our ghost hunt. I think we had activity tonight. I don't think it was what we wanted, but I still think
We got what we got.
I think we were attempted to be contacted. So we might do this again sometime. Let us know in the comments if you would like to see another ghost hunt, maybe a more active area. So for now, we'll see you next time on Dimensions. That's going to wrap it up, guys. I do want to make mention that after the cemetery, all equipment was put up. The camera quit rolling because we were done. We get back to Wild Lilith's house. Everybody parts ways. I'm about to part from her house as well when her spirit box she had laid on the coffee table explodes and something starts trying to come through. Now it was unintelligible. We couldn't make out what they were trying to do or say. She picked it up to turn it off and a very odd thing happened, guys. It was already off. It was off, but something was still coming through. Was we followed from the cemetery? Most likely, whoever tried to make contact in the cemetery was still trying. In order for her to make it stop, she literally had to remove the batteries. A machine was going off that was already turned off. I wish the cameras had been rolling for that, but we were done filming. The night was over. But apparently it wasn't, was it? We hope you enjoyed this episode. The next episode, Dimensions, isn't going to have a particular schedule. It's going to be mixed in with some of my other shows. So you will just have to catch it when it's released. If you would like to see more episodes of Dimensions, let us know in the comments. And maybe we can upload more. But for now, it's going to be mixed in with everything else, guys. Thank you so much for attending, and happy Halloween.